Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet Nastapráyesha Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, chapter 8, text number 39. Neyam shobhishyate tatra yatha dhanim gadādhara tvatpadairankita bhati swalakshana vilakshitai. Neyam shobhishyate tatra yathe dhanim gadādhara tvatpadairankita bhati swalakshana vilakshitai. Neyam shobhishyate tatra yathe dhanim gadādhara tvatpadairankita bhati swalakshana vilakshitai. Neyam shobhishyate tatra Synonyms: Na, not. Yam, the land of our kingdom. Shobhishyate, will appear, beautiful. Tatra, then. Yatha, as it is now. Idani, how. Gadādhara, O Kṛṣṇa. Tvat, your. Padai, by the feet. Ankita, marked. Bhati, is dazzling. Swalakshana, your own marks. Vilakshitai, by the impressions. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swamy Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation: O Gadādhara, Kṛṣṇa, our kingdom is now being marked by the impressions of your feet, and therefore it appears beautiful. But when you leave, it will no longer be so. Please repeat. O Gadādhara, Kṛṣṇa, our kingdom is now being marked by the impressions of your feet, and therefore it appears beautiful. But when you leave, it will no longer be so. Purport: there are certain particular marks on the feet of the Lord which distinguish the Lord from others. The marks of a flag, thunderbolt, the and instrument to drive an elephant, umbrella, lotus, disc, etc., or on the bottom of the Lord's feet. These marks are impressed upon the soft dust of the land where the Lord traverses. The land of Hastinapura was thus marked while Lord Sri Krishna was there with the Pandavas, and the kingdom of the Pandavas thus flourished by such auspicious signs. Kunti Devi pointed out these distinguished features and was afraid of ill luck in the absence of the Lord. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport. Om Ajnanathimiranthasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Ena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadādhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So we are reading the verses at the context of where the war at Kurukshetra is over, and then the Pandavas have been coronated, and having finished the business of having enthroned Yudhishthira as the king of Hastinapura who rules across the world, now was the time for Krishna to leave to Dwarka. So these are the prayers by Kunti offered to Krishna, referring to the auspiciousness that brings when Krishna was around them. So here very nicely she prays, Neyam Shobhishyate Tatra. Shobha means beautiful, auspiciousness, flourishing. She refers to Lord being the reason for our flourishment or for the victory in the war. So she says, our kingdom is now marked by the impressions of your feet, and therefore it appears beautiful. But when you leave, it will no longer be so. All these days you have been around us, and now if you go, having understood that we have won or we have been the kingdom, we own the kingdom, it is not sufficient. That's what in the earlier prayers also she says, don't think that your business is over now. We are always dependent on you. So she refers to some specific marks that Lord Krishna left on the traversed area. So when we talk about these specific marks, especially all the more in many houses we see, as soon as Janmashtami comes in, they make some small tiny footprints in the entrance of their house or in their entrance of their altar, right? Referring to Krishna coming in. And we also, devotees, cherish those small tiny footprints. So the difference is very significant here. The Lord's palms, Lord's feet all have a specific marks. All of us have some marks, isn't it? We all use for as security. When we use our thumb or when we walk, we all have some marks. So what distinguishes our marks with the Lord's? Although all of us have different but very specific marks that differentiate the Lord. So the marks that appear on the soul of the Lord are a flag, a thunderbolt, an instrument to drive an elephant, umbrella, lotus, disc, etc. So all these are very auspicious signs. May it be the disc, which represents the Sudarshan chakra, umbrella, then lotus, then a thunderbolt, the powerful weapon, a flag, which represents the victory. So all these signs are very much differentiating an ordinary person from Lord Krishna or Vishnu. So here the mood of Kunti Devi when she offers these prayers is about being Krishna around. All that we want is to be around. We do not want any of the opulence that we have got now. So in fact, she refers in the one of the previous verses, we have got so many distresses, but that's all fine. We crossed over because you were around. Let more distresses come in. That's also fine, because we are sure you are there and you will protect us. Never mind, we are in distress. We want you to be around. So that's the mood that she conveys all over. And Prabhupada very nicely brings about a very interesting analogical context that from one of the Chanakya Pandit's verse. Very similar to this, because Kunti Devi is praying, unless you are around or your impressions are around, we cannot see anything favorable. So Chanakya Pandit says, Sharvari Bhushanam Chandra, Prithvi Bhushanam Raja, Narinam Bhushanam Pati, Vidya Sarvasya Bharata. Sarvasya Bhushanam. So Chanakya Pandit says, Sarvari Bhushanam Chandra. Sarvari means the sky. We all like landscapes, beautiful, when the atmosphere is good, the sky is blue, here and there little clouds. When somebody draws some portraits, we would mostly see the landscapes of the nature. So that means the sky is beautiful and we would want to have that. But it becomes all the more beautiful when there is Chandra, when there is a moon. All the more a full moon. Right? It becomes as good as a small light. It lights up the whole sky even in the night. So everybody wants to have that relish of seeing that vision. So sky is beautiful, but it becomes all the more beautiful with the appearance of full moon. So the land is here. What she refers is, what Prabhupada wants to bring in is, Kunti is happy. She has their sons have won and they are the kingdom. They own the kingdom, but she wants that Krishna be around. So the sun is otherwise also compared to one of the eyes of the Lord. Sun and moon are compared to other eyes of the Lord. So similarly, she brings in this idea. So Chanakya Pandit one more, it says Prithvi Bhushanam Raja. Very similar. If this whole Prithvi, the earth, flourishes, how does the flourishment of the country or the land that we stay is considered flourished or unflourished, or growth or ungrowth is based on how much the land supports us, either with the proper rainfall that place gets, or the proper winds and proper other aspects of the climatic changes that help the flourishment of economic growth. Either it might be through industrial or farming or whatever. So it all depends on how much the Prithvi is ruled by the king. Yatha Raja Tata Praja. It is not just Raja and Praja, it is the prevalence of what is the mood of the Raja. that brings in flourishment in the society. And then Narinam Bhushanam Pati. The women or girls are beautiful, and they become more beautiful when they are around their husbands. And then Vidya Sarvasya Bhushanam. So, actual Vidya is the knowledge that is given by Lord. If somebody is having that knowledge, he is actually Bhushanam, he is actually flourishing, he is actually beautiful. It is not the material knowledge that makes, or it is not the cosmetical appliances that make a person beautiful. It is the Vidya of Krishna consciousness that brings in actual beauty. This was in fact spoken in many of the occasions when Prabhupada addressed different things. So Prabhupada used to say, I have many European boys and girls serving in this mission, and although they have given up their so-called modern life, they are bright-faced. They may not be applying all those cosmetics to make themselves beautiful, but still they are bright. How are they bright? Not everybody who is not so-called cosmetically enriched are not bright. There are many people who may not be bright. How are these Krishna conscious young boys and girls, how are they looking so bright? That's because of Krishna conscious. That's what the Vidya. They have got this transcendental knowledge. Not only they are just satisfied within themselves with the situations they are in, but they also look bright because they have Krishna with them. So all this very nice analogies and statements from Shastras will bring about a proper understanding how the beauty has to be seen, how the land that we stay is flourishing, is based on the ruler that we have. So in the midst of the lot of chaos across the world, we see there are many ill-motivated rajas or presidents, or in the name of prime minister, whatever they may be called in their rule of land. It is all dependent on how pious they are or how impious they are. The rule depends on them. So similarly, here Kunti is praying, let Krishna be around, and then everything follows in place. So our idea is also the same. Krishna, bring Krishna in the center. Prabhupada used to say this over and over again, saying, bring Krishna in the center. May it be a family, may it be a society, may it be a community, or may it be a state, country, etc. Bring Krishna in the center, it will, whatever we refer to will flourish. So, very interesting. One more aspect that Prabhupada brings in this context that for us is very significant is this example we would have heard many a times. Many people want to upgrade their skills in terms of fame, in terms of knowledge, in terms of many other aspects that they want to show off, that they may be considering is very significant, is all like zeros. We would have heard this, right? Somebody is having some title, Bharat Ratna or Khel Ratna. So many different streams have got different established recognitions. So, but all of them are like big zeros. So somebody may say, how they've got that with hard work, they've got that with lot of competition. So how are these called zeros? Do they have no value? Yes, they have value when you bring Krishna. Krishna is called the One. All the zeros that you may have makes the number big. That's okay. But if you bring Krishna, One, then all those values really make sense. All those zeros really make sense. If you don't bring one, you're not making any sense of all those zeros being added, having got Kail Ratna or Bharat Ratna or etc. etc. So, idea of our seeing this Krishna consciousness as the prime aspect that we have to develop is the important aspect. Otherwise, all those skills, all those fame, name, everything will vanish for nothing when you're gone. It will leave you nothing. But if you give Krishna, all those credits are there with you, and that much credit is with you. So, the importance is, how do we bring Krishna in our lives all the time? So, that's what this whole program of Krishna consciousness gives us. So, being in this society, being in touch with this society, or practicing some of these aspects automatically brings. I've seen many people, as they walk by when we're doing kirtans, they're hardly aware of ISKCON, hardly aware of any Hare Krishna mantra, but we see within a short time, maybe 5-10 minutes, they start clapping, some of them start reciting, getting into the mood of the kirtans here. How is that possible? You go to any other place, so-called transcendental or spiritual organization, is there so much reciprocation that we can see here in this kirtans participation? No. You go, probably different kinds of meditations or they tell, but how much do they get involved? Here we can see practically within a very short time of 5-10 minutes, they are getting involved. How is that possible? That is because every one of us are related to Him, Krishna. It is just a revival that happens in the right atmosphere that brings in with nice kirtans, offenseless kirtan, brings in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Very nice, that words is very impressed. So it says, Yatra, one more aspect is the other one. Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna, Tatra Partho Dhanurdhara, Tatra Sri Vijayor Bhutir, Dhruvanītir Matir Mama. Wherever there is the great archer Arjuna, wherever the great mystic Krishna, there all opulence, victory, morality follows. This is the conclusion of Sanjaya. So it's not that Chanukya is saying, or no, Sanjaya is saying here, or Kunti is saying here. No, it is the it is the verdict of all many great people, that wherever there is Krishna, there all this morality etc. comes in. So similarly, wherever there is kirtan, I am there. Wherever there is offenseless chanting, I am there. I am in the sound of Lord. So that's where our movement is, to have this kirtans or the holy names, Kirtaniya Sadahari. As we do more and more, all the time we are with Krishna. So the idea is, how much are we bringing in Krishna? That defines how much are we in Krishna conscious. That defines how much we are elevating in ourselves. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu brings in two aspects. So somebody may say, Krishna was there personally 5,000 years back, and then like Kunti is praying, they would feel personally. And then now, are we bereft of that? No. And Krishna has come in the form of holy names. Krishna has come in the form of beautiful Radha Govinda. Krishna has come in the form of so many books and literatures. That's where we often hear that spiritual knowledge is more to be heard than to be seen. So when we hear more, when we analyze this more, the more we realize. So there is as good an opportunity that 5,000 years back Kunti had, and so much we do have now with the arrangement that great acharyas have set in. So these aspects that we have to cherish. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, stages of meeting Krishna are two, or stages of bringing Krishna into our lives are two stages. One is Sambhoga and the other is Vipralamba. What is Sambhoga? You personally interact. Give Krishna, like Sudama gave something, or Yashoda dressed him something, or all the gopis embraced him personally. This is called Sambhoga. You personally interact. And the one more aspect of the stage of interaction with him is Vipralamba. Vipralamba is in the stage of separation. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu never told us that we should be in somebody is in Sambhoga stage, personally interacting, they are more elevated than somebody is in the separation. Rather, it is the other way. If somebody is in Vipralamba, who is in separation of Lord, they are more elevated than, or that's the higher stage than somebody in Sambhoga. This brings me an understanding or recollection of Prabhupada giving one example. Somebody may be very close to Lord or even acharyas, but if they are not in a right context, they are bereft. Prabhupada gives the word of a bug. Some bug may be sitting on to the body of a spiritual master or body of Krishna, but is that very closely associated? It is actually troubling. So sometimes the Sambhoga is very dangerous. So all the more, having heard some Vipralamba is elevated, people still wants to see Lord, embrace him, all that they consider high. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teachings that we follow is the other way. The more we become in separation, even for say the gopis and the gopas and the inhabitants of Vrindavan, they were associating with Krishna only for 10-11 years. And after that, what? Krishna had left to Mathura and then to Dwaraka. Does that mean they were all bereft of Krishna and forgot of Krishna? No. They became all the more attached to Krishna. The more attracted to Krishna. That's how even when we go to Dwaraka, the queens, even after Krishna leaves, they all become, though we see sandalwood Gopi Chandan, we all apply, isn't it? It is all their body. So they have given up the body in relation to Krishna all the time. Even though personally they couldn't see, even the Vrindavan Vasis or the Dwarka Vasis, they were always in a connection with Krishna. So never ever we should think, okay, Krishna isn't around us. He is always. So it depends on how much you bring Krishna, how much you follow the way the acharyas have set forth, and we can probably realize ourselves. Sometimes we are not that much encouraged for the reason that we are not Krishna conscious. Otherwise, we feel sometimes encouraged So we can feel ourselves what, okay, today I could chant better, today I could do something, some services better, okay, today has been a great day. So all that in and around, we can also feel ourselves these bringing in Kṛṣṇa in our lives. So 1 or 2 days, once in a while, for whatever reasons, we may be down or up or so, some forth, but we know when we chant our rounds properly, when we are in the association of devotees, when we are in the midst of great services, we feel that encouragement. I recently happened to go about doing book distribution in one of the impersonalist organization. They had conducted some mela, and then somehow we got some stall, and then we had gone there. And I was observing and I was feeling myself, there are many people coming in, thousands, if not close to a lakh of people. And then the devotees are very enthusiastic, so we're seeing so much crowd, and then they're trying to distribute. There are hundreds of other stalls, maybe another 20 to 30 other stalls doing book distribution. They are also doing book distribution, and so of course there are other stalls with so many eateries and etc. The devotees in our stall, the energy was very high. As in each book going, they were showing their happiness, and it was. I was observing in other stalls, mostly morose. They are not encouraged to give, or they themselves are sitting as if. So I found quite a big contrast in the energy that they were exhibiting in the services that the devotees were doing to distribute Srila Prabhupada's books, to the energy that they were distributing of so many impersonal literatures. That brings in, so somebody has brought in Kṛṣṇa, and see the energy here, they were happy doing book distribution, talking about Kṛṣṇa. The other side I saw, they were, because right across we can see them, and they were just displaying and then sitting in their own, and then I was thinking, do they have ever read those books, or are they just around here just to make some business? That's it. So even in our day-to-day circumstances, we can see who has brought in Kṛṣṇa and who has not. So the true way of bringing Kṛṣṇa is to bring in the way acharyas have shown. Otherwise we will be just sailing through in the name of transcendental realization or spiritual realization, as we see apparently or very visibly in the case of many other stalls that we can make out. So it's very important and very realizable, and Kṛṣṇa himself says, Susukum kartum avyayam. All this is very enjoyably done. So all that we have to do is stick on to the instructions that are given by great acharyas and great devotees like Kunti, and we can see for ourselves how we can flourish in our spiritual life. Thank you. If you have any questions, I can take. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.